Welcome everyone, Costin here on Serious Gaming with Ultimate General Civil War, the full release version. And so, I will play the campaign, the Confederate campaign. The reason behind that is, let me just lower the volume a bit on both sides. The reason behind playing the Confederate campaign, I also like playing the underdog. In a lot of cases, and I think like the Union had a lot of advantages in terms of industry, in terms of manpower, you know, the number of troops they could bear, the equipment they could have on the troops, but the Confederates, you know, outnumbered, they had spirit, and they, you know, had far more memorable generals as well, like Lee, Stonewall Jackson, Stuart, others. So anyway, strategist. Gonna go strategist, and artillery I think is, you know, the medicine is probably useful to an extent, but just not at the start. Instead, I think I'll go for training. So that's infantry. And then politics. Now, politics, the reason I go behind politics is because it's, you know, it's very useful to have a lot of political points. You get more resources. So Confederates, I'm not gonna go with anything changed. So yeah, I mean, I would name my character Robert E. Lee, but you actually get Lee, or I don't know, maybe, you know what? Screw it. Robert E. Lee. Why not? No advisor, and before I begin, let me just check the stream. Alright, all seems in order. Let's actually begin. General, your first assignment is to secure a small coastal fort at this bank of the Potomac River. Alright, that's gonna be my first assignment. I actually don't like the first mission here. So you start with 2 units of line infantry, and you start with the cavalry unit and a skirmisher unit. Now the skirmisher unit, it's gonna be useful to an extent. The cavalry unit though, I think you should try and keep that one alive actually. Because if you do, I'm not sure if you keep it for later, but probably useful. Now the reason I'm running my troops there is because there's a bunch of skirmishers, and what I want to do with those skirmishers is, what I want to do with those line infantry is dealing with the skirmishers. Now, typically what happens here is that that didn't go so well. Anyway, so my cavalry is engaging them. So is my line infantry. Alright, I don't have time to mess around with this, to be honest. I need to keep going. So my cavalry will deal with them and just do them no problem. This part of battle is not the difficult phase. The difficult phase is after. Alright, so their Miles is pretty much wiped out. Now I'm gonna take Kemper, leave Siegfried where he is. Take the good Crooker. And Kemper will march here to this farm. I think they'll be just fine. Okay, I need to run. I know I'll lose some men, but I really need to hurry. The reason I need to care about this is because the enemy is gonna get reinforcements to its fort if I don't. Alright. I don't see them yet, so I may have just reached this all in time. Alright, my skirmishers have some problems there, but... Okay. Their infantry is... What the hell? I think my skirmishers... Although they won't be able to defeat the enemy, I'll use the cavalry to finish them off right there. I've also mostly wiped out much. Come on. I know they're tired, but I really need to get them before the unit gets to the fort. If I can really get a good flanking shot there, I'll wipe out a lot of the enemy. Okay, turn around. Alright. Now, okay, so I probably was a bit too late. Doesn't matter. I mean, one of their infantry units is stuck and... Okay, fall back. No need to sacrifice yourself for nothing. I'll try and hit them in the flank. That should do some damage. What I'm gonna do is take the opening right here. They've situated themselves right on that side. I'll protect the supplies. Get them in position. Alright. I really want to do some damage right there. Not necessarily huge amounts. Alright. That farm will give me some good cover. Obviously they do have the cover of the woods. I'll take my general. I'll launch a full assault soon enough. Okay, these guys aren't too tired. The thing about units in cover is that you can rout them fairly easily if you get behind them. That's my intent. I'll send the skirmishers right there, the cavalry on that side. Cavalry is mostly spent for this battle. They did their purpose though. They did a significant amount of damage to one of the skirmisher units, wiped out another one. Kinda would have wanted to take some prisoners, but that's okay. So the goal here is to take the fort and wipe out their cannon emplacements. So that's okay, I need to hurry a bit with this unit. And move the general forward. Once this unit starts running, I'll move Siegfried ahead. Alright, let's go. Gotta get to cover. I admittedly did not expect that the unit here would rally so quickly. That was a mistake on my part. Not the cleanest kill, by the way, in terms of the fort, but... Alright, that was the first day. Now here come the ironclads. This is gonna be the more difficult part. In the sense that the enemy vastly outnumbers me and I can't just sit on my ass in the fort. I'll be overrun. So what do I need to do? Well, multiple strategies are available. For now, I'm content to just bombard the hell out of those ironclads. Alright, keep shooting. What I aim to do is delay as much as possible. The Union will reach the fort. The question is, do they reach the fort at the time that those ironclads are sinking, or do they reach the fort before that? That's the pivotal question here of this battle. I took some losses, in particular Siegfried took quite a pummeling, but no, overall, given the fact that I had to advance across the map to deal with skirmishers, deal with larger enemy numbers, I'd say I'm quite happy with the results I got. Alright, it's gonna take the Union some time to actually reach me. They're bringing artillery and they're bringing far more men than I have. What do I get? I get cavalry. Useless, by the way. I'd rather keep them alive. Now these guys have 6-pounder field guns. Not the greatest in the world. Alright, need to realign them because they're heading from this direction. This, by the way, an iPad game, I guess? iPhone? I don't know. It has some pretty bad performance though in some of the bigger battles. Like when I say bigger battles, I mean really big battles. When there's tens of thousands of units on screen at once. To be fair, the engine that they're using isn't really designed for any of this. I'm kinda hoping the sequel to all of this will actually be on a different engine. Who knows, maybe eventually it'll switch to 3D graphics. So, yeah, 4 units and a unit skirmishers, and I have 5 units. My bad. Yeah, that's gonna be painful. I lost 21% of my units in that assault. Alright, the field that Siegfried is in will provide him with some good cover. But really, I need my units to join the fray. I'll flank around. Thankfully, they got exhausted just before they hit Kemper right there. Good. More will come and more will die. I need to be a bit careful because that unit that I threw out could very well end up coming back at the same time, though. I cannot ignore the opportunity to just completely wreck them. Oh, there they come. Alright, turn around. Kemper is holding his own quite well. was the charge I was worried about. I knew it would happen at one point or another. The battle is in effect over, so I'm just gonna speed it up so it's done. That was the hard part. They're broken, they're not gonna recover. By the time they do recover, they'll not be in position to actually take it. I'm urging these 2 units. Maybe I can get more units on the campaign map, who knows? I did push a bit too hard there. Trying to completely rout them and break them. But if he rallies, I am in a good position with him to take out their artillery. Alright, double the casualties. Alfred Kemper promoted, Jimmy Allen wounded, that's fine. Let's see what kind of units I get in my army following this battle. Yeah, just Kemper and Siegfried, nothing changes. You always get those two. So if you're doing this, you just want to keep those two as much, strong as possible. Alright, Kemper. They got promoted. Or rather, their units got the stat chosen for him. Personally, gonna go with logistics for my artillery.
Yes, sir.
At this point in the game, I can't afford really to not get rookies. I mean, stuff is expensive at this stage. There are some Mississippi rifles I could get, or James Archer, who's really worth it. Brigadier General.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir! Sir, yes, sir!
So what's the logic there? Well, I want 3 infantry brigades for the next battle that's gonna come. I don't really care that much about the artillery at this point. Gonna win this battle, get the money, use the money. Alright, so we are going to be under attack by a good number of Union troops, the Battle of Newport News, but gonna get reinforcements. Before I start, however, I'm gonna stand right there. I'm gonna pull the cavalry right back up, and I guess the rest of the battle we'll see. Gonna pull back. I think the enemy has skirmishers that they'll be sending my way. Alright, Kemper will hold the town. He'll do a fine enough job. Here they come. That's suicide, by the way. Assaulting a heavily fortified position like that. General Stuart, the famed cavalry general. The errant knight of the Confederacy. Take those skirmishers out. Alright, time to fall back. I just wanted to route them so I can actually turn around and... Alright, screw them. There we go. Fall back, Stuart. Now would be a good time to retreat while Bernie is pursuing Stuart. The AI knows that I'll screw them over if I manage to get that flanking maneuver, so they decided that they will not allow me to get it. Come on, reposition, damn it. Alright, our reinforcements have arrived to teach them a lesson. Cavalry and supplies are on their way. Time to do a flanking maneuver. I'll leave the town to one unit. They bloody routed Siegfried. He got too much. He took too much. Artillery will be positioned right here in the fields. Pull back with Stuart. Christ, that's bad. I really need to pull him back, because otherwise things are gonna get messy as hell. I see those flanking units and I do not care for them. Cavalry units and supplies. At long last, my reinforcements have arrived. More importantly, the supplies arrived. So, alright, need to fall the fuck back. I would really like to take one out. Take one of their artillery pieces out. The Union has more and better guns at the end of the day. Or at least they will later in the war. The early parts of the war, now that was a mess. Alright, I need to get back. Fortify the town. They've broken through. Not completely though. Alright, the 2-to-1 ratio continues. Didn't take too many casualties either. Alright, more in politics. And that's where I'm gonna put all my points. Why? Because it affects your gold. You need gold. Not just gold though, gold and recruits. So you get a bigger army, you get more units, you get more ability to buy more stuff. And everything else is secondary to that.
Sir, yes, sir!
If one wonders why I'm buying Napoleon's guns, is because the next mission is going to be quite a fight over specific points. So if I have guns that can choke them, that can do a lot of damage over short range, then that's very beneficial for me to use, right? So, yeah, gonna use that. Not gonna. Okay, in this particular case, I think it's probably worth to invest some. Let's see. Although I will not be able to stay and do the actual battle, but I'm gonna show people what kind of army they should probably go for. Let me see what kind of skirmishers I can get. Skirmishers would be actually useful. The problem is I don't really have a lot of guns I can equip them with. So this is my army. 6,000 men for the next battle. You also get captured messages and the overall army that you're dealing with. This is the first battle of Bull Run. Yeah, so what you'd end up doing here is you'd be guarding a bridge, really, and holding back the enemy. There's a lot of units, Confederate units, that would be showing up in this particular battle, so that are not part of your army that you don't have to deal with. That's a nice way, I guess, for them to not, you know, to add to have a grand battle at the scale that it actually was, while also, you know, having the player start off at a low enough point. Now, next level, I'm gonna have to increase my army organization because I'm already at the point, like, you know, this is the thing that you do. You go for politics and you go for army organization. You stretch that out as much as possible, but you have to go for it. Training, medicine later on, much later on, not at this point. The economy, that's really later on as well, because, you know, that's when you really need those high-end guns. So, Costin here, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, stream, and stay tuned for more.